Welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who tests himself every day. It's Chris Kelly.
Hi, everybody.
So what was your test today, Chris Kelly?
I drove in Atlanta traffic.
I wanted you to say that you drank ginger beer with a dollop of whipped cream.
I had ginger beer while chewing on a ginger chew.
Did you really?
I've done that before, actually. It's pretty disgusting.
Well, you're living life on the edge, man.
It's about as harsh as you would think it would be.
I mean, that sounds amazing.
It's really good for your stomach, but it's not too smooth going down.
I really like the way that kind of interaction between Kiefer Sutherland and Terrence Stamp in the beginning of Young Guns, when Terrence is just like, "All right, young guy, you get ginger beer with a dollop of whipped cream, and I get a whiskey." And then Kiefer goes, "Come on, man,
I'm 21 years old."
And then he goes, "Okay, just don't tell the other guys." I don't know, it's a fun little scene, but I don't know. He offered this kid's like a 19-year-old, 21-year-old killer, and he's like, "Hey, you want some ginger beer?"
Yeah, he was 21 in real life. I don't know. I forget what he was in in the movie. I mean, Kiefer Sutherland was 21 in real life, but I forget how old his character actually was. I think he may have been 24 in reality. I can't remember.
I gotta tell you, what I like about this movie is that I like how I feel like the actors made some pretty good choices in this film, like in their roles.
They were also they're very close to how the actual people's ages were in reality, except for the older gentleman. I read that a lot of movies that take place in this time, they always depict him as being an older guy, but in reality he was 24 or 25 whenever he was murdered.
Oh, Tunstall, Terrence Stamp.
Yeah. He was actually just like a young guy, just like everybody else. I think it's kind of strange because he actually was the one who hired all these guys to be his regulators, and it's like they were about the same age.
Yeah, but back then in the Wild West, you lived to 40, you were lucky.
Yeah,
so you got 5 years on somebody. You're like, let me tell you a little something.
Like one of the regulators in real life was almost 30.
Oh,
there was the actor was it was Charlie Bowser.
Oh, Charlie.
Casey Size-Masco.
The pugilist?
He was in real life, in the movie, Casey was 27. In real life, Charlie was, I believe, 28. It was like, wow. So he was actually like an old gun compared to like how everybody else was, because Billy the Kid was 20, I believe, at the time.
So they weren't casting 38-year-olds for high school roles?
Now, I miss those movies.
I gotta tell you something, Chris Kelly.
So
our structure on this show is pretty loose, but when I asked you, hey, what do you want to talk about on this show? You said Young Guns. How did that come about?
I forget. I mean, we were talking about Charlie Sheen movies and the Emilio Estevez movies, and then they all kind of came together. I was like, oh, Young Guns. I love that movie. We were talking about Charlie Sheen in the 80s, and then Young Guns was like the first thing that came to my mind.
Got it. Because we did Major League.
Yes.
Right? And then I've been having a lot of my podcasts blend into each other, because also in this one, Terry O'Quinn is in it as just a random lawyer dude.
He was like 30-something in that. He was not a very old guy, but like he's like permanently always looked like he was in his mid-40s.
He played Lawyer Alex, and we just did The Rocketeer.
He has like the Tom Berenger disease, where he looked like he was 40, and then when he turns 40, he looks like he's 20.
Yeah, it's like, how did that happen? That's interesting. I like that.
Tom Berenger, look him up now. It's like he looks like he's 50 tops, maybe.
But this movie, I guess what I like about it is this is an R-rated movie. This is not a...
Oh, it's definitely not family friendly.
A dude gets his head blown off.
Yeah, I love that scene whenever he's just like, yeah, I knew you were a snake all along, and they blam. Billy the Kid blows his head right off, and you're like, that's something you're not expecting, because there's not really a lot of violence leading up. I mean, there is, but I mean, it's not really graphic, but then you really see his brains fly out of the back of his head. And in the commentary, Lou Diamond Phillips said that they had a rig with raw hamburger meat in the back.
Oh, nice.
That's what they did. They said it took them forever to actually get that to stick. So if you pay attention to the lighting in that scene, it drastically changes because it took so long for them to actually figure that out.
Oh, that's cool. But his head blew off.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. It was like...
And this is a movie where people are just going, cuss and fart, and you razzle-dazzles. You know, like
come on, shithead.
Yeah, like there's no really R-rated language per se in this. There is a few.
There's a few, but like it wouldn't match the time period, which I think they were trying to at least strive for accuracy.
This could have been a PG-13 movie, especially with these heartthrobs. Yeah, but they went the right way, and they made an R-rated movie. And with inflation, so it made $45 million in 1988, but counting for inflation, that's $100 million. And the sequel made $100 million too with inflation.
That's pretty good on a $13 million budget.
Yeah, really good.
That's a good
So like, I guess if we're flipping that, $26 million budget, it makes $100 million. in today's world.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, even if they marketed the heck out of it, let's say they marketed 20 million, you're still pulling in like $54 million profit. Yeah. This was a hit.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the one thing I kind of want to get your thoughts. Charlie Sheen in this movie. So he plays, he's the boss of the regulators, right?
I'd say
not the boss. He's the super.
He seems kind of like the most mature out of all of them, even though he probably really wasn't.
Yeah, in real life. But in this one, he's the only character that I felt maybe phoned it in a little bit.
You mean with his southern accent?
I don't know what that. Yeah, I don't know what that was. So I was telling you earlier, I had a meeting today and I had to drive down in Atlanta, and that takes a while. So I put on Young Guns. So I put Young Guns on in the truck and I listened to it. And what I like most about this movie is everyone's really busting their butts to like pull off accents and weird choices. And then there's Charlie Sheen going, "Come on, Billy."
He really kind of.
I'm a Charlie Sheener, but this was he has his brain on other things during this movie.
Yeah, this was during his full coke pre-AIDS days, so he definitely was really hardcore into the paid services of women and the drugs. What I thought was interesting was they talked about this in the commentary that Alice Carter, who plays Yin Soon, that her trailer was actually next to Charlie's trailer while they were filming, and they said that afterwards, Lou Diamond Phillips said that she pretty much quit acting after this movie because she thought that he was the most bonkers person. This is like her first big role.
Yeah.
And her introduction is, "You're next to Charlie Sheen." But she didn't totally quit. If you look her up, she still has a lot of different little roles and everything, but she's now a very well-known acting teacher.
Oh, nice.
It's nice that she didn't quit the industry, but I just think that's funny that like your first big thing and you're up next to Charlie Sheen when he's 23.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, that's no good. And I guess what I like, and speaking of Yen Sun, right, played by Alice Carter, I like how, so you have Jack Palance as the bad guy in this movie, Murphy.
Something that we've always wanted was Jack Palance as a bad guy.
He's so good. He's so slimy.
I love him in everything.
But what's crazy is they go out of their way to make him the worst human being on the planet. So he goes and he kills Terrence Stamp Tunstall. And then it turns out that Chavez, his family was delivered horrible meat from Murphy. So this is about two dueling cattle barons who want to get contracts for New Mexico, right, with their meat. And so I guess Terrence Stamp said horrible meat to the the Chavez's tribe, and they went to complain about it, and they all got their head stomped in. And then you have Murphy. He got his shirt. He was somewhere in a big city. He got his shirt messed up, and he stole Yen Sun, and he calls her China. Do you know at the end when he's chasing her down, he's going China? Like they refer to her as China throughout the whole thing. Yeah. He's like, even when Kiefer Sutherland, he even calls her China. China doll. He's like, the China doll. He's like, you can keep the little China doll. Remember, he says that to her in the little quick exchange. Yeah, and but I like how they just went out of their way to make Jack Palance just the worst. I mean, like he starves orphans. You almost want to see him handing out poison candy. Yeah, there's a scene where a rattlesnake sees him, and the rattlesnake goes, "Oh crap!" and runs away. Yeah, there's a wolf out there, and it just bows down before him. Oh man! Oh shit, son! It's Jack Palance. 1 arm push-ups. City Slickers. The same guy who shot this movie also shot City Slickers, by the way. He also shot Mad Max. Mad Max 2, Beyond Thunderdome, Cocktail, Dances with Wolves is what he won an Oscar for. And then he went on to do, which I think is great. I would love to work on every Adam Sandler movie, but he did The Do-Over, Sandy Wexler, Ridiculous Six. He worked on Chuck and Larry. He went out Last Witch Hunter. He did Razorback. He did The Cowboy Way. He did Woody and Charlie Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah. And then Heartbreakers. I like that movie. That was a good one, too. And then Waterworld. Gene Hackman in Heartbreakers. Oh, my God. He's like on the verge of death. Oh, I love that. Ray Liotta shooting fish. But we were sold. Like, this guy he did Maleficent. I mean, he's definitely very accomplished cinematographer. Came out of Australia. I kind of like that. Shot Razorback. And then the production designer I thought was really interesting, too. So she started off, right, doing movies like Raising Arizona and Young Guns. And then she moved on to Made in Manhattan, Flight of the Conchords thing. Mona Lisa Smile, When Harry Met Sally, Hitch, Set It Up. But she went from doing Devil's Own, Raising Arizona, Young Guns, to every rom-com ever filmed in New York. Do you think maybe she did that because it feels like it might have been a little easier? Because doing this, I mean, that's a
lot bigger than, say, shooting in a city because you kind of know what you're going to get.
She kind of stopped doing period pieces, just Made in Manhattan, When Harry Met Sally, Hitch. She just stopped. It's interesting, right?
That is
Get me out of here.
That's probably what happened. She's probably like, no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see what Will Smith's going to be doing. Yeah. Romantic comedies for the next 10 years. Cool.
Also, the director, he did the classic Gone Fishing.
Yeah, I love that movie too. Remember when Joe Pesci orders the wine? He's like, "There's the full glass right here." He's like, "I'm a big boy. I can drink the whole thing." And they pour out more of it, and it's the most sour thing he's ever had.
I don't remember anything from that movie.
That movie's awesome.
I like movies. Normally, I like movies where Danny Glover is near a boat. Lethal Weapon. He's kind of doing that stuff. But in this Gone Fishing, I don't remember much from it. But he also did The Next Karate Kid and The Amazing Panda Adventure.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that's a classic right there.
Oh, Amazing Panda. That's amazing.
Well, it's got pandas.
And then the writer, John Fusco, I love how he went on to do Highwaymen, which is on Netflix. I love
that movie.
Dude, it's good.
That's an amazing movie. They talk about him in the commentary for this. The commentary was done before the Highwaymen, but John Fusco, he's very much a nut about history, that he'll do research forever and ever. So they said that in the commentary for Young Guns that it's about as close as you're going to get to how it was in the actual shootout and everything. Except for in the actual shootout, they make a reference to how many people were in there at the end, where there was only you only see the regulators.
The young gun.
Just like the young
Mound up. Warren G.
I got an interesting thing to say about that. But that they say, how many, Murphy says, how many guys are in there? I said, I don't know, about 30. In reality, there was 30 guys in there.
Oh, there was?
That's the reason why they put that line in there. But in the commentary, they said that if they did actually have 30 guys in there and they were battling back and forth, people would get...
Yeah.
And you'd lose track of who's who.
That's so many.
That's a lot of guys to be sitting there shooting back and forth, and then you go, well, who are we going to focus on? That's why when you see movies with shootouts, you usually don't focus on like 4 or 5 guys. Cause
open range. Costner and Duvall against a bunch of henchmen.
Right? Yeah, you lose track of all the henchmen.
Yeah.
So you don't know who you're shooting at. Was going to say, then you brought up, regulators, mount up.
Warren G.
The song Regulate, which I found was extremely interesting, was they talked about this in the commentary. Lou Diamond Phillips says to Casey, because it's Casey who says all those lines, you can't be a geek off the street.
Got to earn your keep.
If you know what I mean. Easy with the stealing. So... he says that, he asks, Lou Diamond Phillips says, did you ever get any money for that? And Casey has no idea what he's talking about. I don't know if he's joking, but he's like, I've never heard of that song.
What?
He's never heard. That's what he says. He says that. Well, I mean, if it makes sense, because he would have been, let's see. He would have been about 36 when that song came out.
That song was everywhere.
But you gotta imagine if he was like, so he would have been around our age when that song came out. So at the time when there is no internet, and even though
it was on the radio all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, how often would you have listened to that? You probably would have your core group of like cassette tapes that you probably listened to, or CDs. I imagine. I mean, you got to think about it as like a 30.
Yeah. Oh, from his point of view.
From his point of view, he would
have
been like in his mid 30s when that song came out.
He was crushing some like Nirvana. Because 92. Well, this was 88. But that song didn't come out till 3 years later.
It was like 94 when that song came out.
Yeah.
93, 94. So he would have been like around my age. So it's kind of like if somebody took a sound bite from something that I did and put it in a song. And it was like, I maybe never have heard of it.
I have a hard time believing, though, no one messaged him, though.
I find it extremely difficult that no one shot him a text
One of his buddy, was like, regular!
Yeah, exactly.
Someone told him. He's goofing.
It has to be, but in the commentary, he soans like he's dead serious. He's like, I'd never heard the song before. And
he's pulling. He's doing a bit.
I don't know. Maybe he's into classic rock. I
go again on my own.
For all we know, he's like thumping Led Zeppelin or the Shags or something. I don't know.
Ooh.
That's a throwback. The Specials. I was a big fan of the Specials.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the Specials?
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They're very bad.
They're pretty special. I almost avoided that.
How about Rancid? They're a good band, too.
Oh, yeah.
I follow them on Instagram. They should be in Atlanta like in a couple of months.
Nice. So this movie, I read a review, and they said it's a very Deanish, sensitive, delinquent melodrama disguised for no good reason as a Western. Now, these guys are very James Deanian in their portrayals, I would say. Very sensitive. They're yelling, they have big speeches. Some of them are crying. They're in love. But I mean... yeah, if you think about it. So I was watching this movie and I kind of thought, man, this Emilio is kind of a psychopath. But he's 19. And they had power and they were already feral crazy kids. So you deputize a crazy 19-year-old he's going to start shooting people.
Of course, yeah.
And so once I put that in perspective, the movie made a lot more sense to me.
I like what Jana Maislin said in her review of Young Guns in 1988, when she said that the movie is best watched in a playful and non-too-serious spirit.
Yeah.
Which is, if you take the movie seriously, you probably won't like it, because it's like, the soundtrack is terrible, which I'll talk about that in a minute. There's a lot of like lines that don't really go together. There's random shootings everywhere. The shootout scene where Charlie Sheen dies, it's like, oh, come on. But I mean, it's like, he's in their shitter, and then the guy's
he walked a straight line into him.
But you can't take it seriously. So it's like, if you do take the film seriously, then I think that you won't like it. But if you kind of realize what's happening here, that this is a movie that was made with the Brat Pack, that the majority of the guys here were teenage heartthrobs, that they were just kind of like, we're going to make a Western, and that's it. It's kind of like if they put Shia LaBeouf and, Zac Efron. I don't know who's hot now, but anyways, those two guys, and put them in a Western.
That sounds great.
Well, they made, what was it, Lawless, I think? But that movie was actually pretty cool.
He knocked out Tom Hardy.
That was a pretty cool movie, though.
Yeah. Shia LaBeouf is a good actor. He's in two movies right now, that the Peanut Butter...
Yeah, I just saw the trailer for that. Was it Peanut Butter Elephant? Something?
Yeah, Pancake? No, that's food. I'm hungry. The Peanut Butter Phoenix?
That sounds about right. I just watched the trailer for it this morning, but it's that and
American Honey's good. Boy. Oh, Honey Boy, yeah.
Yeah, that looks really good.
And have you seen American Honey? He's in that. There's a bunch of kids traveling the United States selling magazines. He's good. Squirrely, but good.
He's really becoming a good actor.
I guess what we got, so they battled Buckshot Bobby. Well, Roberts. I guess that's close enough. Buckshot Roberts. But what I like about that scene is, all right, we're jump. If you're listening to this podcast, you know what this movie's about. It's about young kids who work for Terrence Stamp. Terrence Stamp is a rival outfit next to Jack Palance's. Jack Palance has a lot more power. He kills Terrence Stamp. The young kids are deputized. They chase after Stamp to like break up this ring full of political corruption, but then they go too far.
It's basically like a giant shooting spree at that point.
Yeah, and so, but I do like that scene though, where Buckshot Roberts gets them, because they're kids. They're sure the regulators.
Yeah, if you're up against an old man that's clearly been a hired gun for almost all of his life, I would imagine they probably would all have been dead. But that's not what actually happened in real life.
And I kind of like that though. Yeah, Buckshot Roberts lived, didn't he, until like his late 70s?
I don't remember what they said in the commentary, but I think it was Chavez. They said it's really unknown how he died, but it's supposedly he died like in his late 60s in jail.
Chavez?
Yeah.
Hey.
And it's rumored that he's the one who carved in pals into the epitaph.
Oh, nice.
Because he was the only one who had a knife.
Hey. He was good. He was really good with those knives.
He was really good with a knife.
Big boy!
I like that scene whenever they're first kind of introducing the characters, and you see Emilio sitting there like with his gun with the pig, and then you just see these knives just whipping right past him, hitting right up against the board. And then, you have to imagine that, this is the 80s when the visual effects were not really top of the line. So that's a real knife.
Oh, wow.
Whipping right past his head.
Emilio almost got Emilio'd. But this movie, what I do also like about Young Guns is that the characters they get enough time to be their own people. Normally when you have these ensembles, someone gets lost in the shuffle, but Dirty Steve, Dermot Mulroney, you get him, right?
Yeah, that was real chewing tobacco, by the way.
Oh, gross.
His face was like, it was like
he regrets that.
Half his face was like on the other side of the planet. It was just like...
I bet he regrets that right now.
He talks about that in the commentary, that they offered him Tootsie Rolls, but he was like, no, I want this shit to look real. And it's like, well, I mean... Ugh. That was a lot of tobacco he chewed.
And then what, Charlie I liked, Charlie Sheen, Chavez. I like Kiefer Sutherland's performance in this is pretty sensitive. He has a lot of scenes with, Yen's son, and he's just trying to woo her. He's a poet.
Yeah, and he shows up with flowers, and he's very nice to her.
But he screams at her.
I think that he was trying to balance who he was at the time as an actor. That he was really trying to show his different range, in my opinion, because he just got done doing Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Where he was, a massive asshole.
Yeah.
And then to go from that to the sensitive, nice guy, it's like, oh, okay, so now you can see the different range of what he can do.
I thought he juggled it well. Nice dude who also can kill people. And you're 19, so you're not mature at all.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for you. You and I've never done it, but you and I go out one time, and we're being chased by the law, right? We're being chased by Timothy Oliphant and his gang, right? They're hunting us down. And you're like, man, we need a vision quest. Let's take peyote, right? I've never done peyote. Haven't done it. I don't want to ask you if you have. Now, which one of these guys, 6 guys, would you act like? So in this movie, they're on a vision quest. So you have Charlie, who's just very, out there happy. You have Dirty Steve, who's freaking out, shooting at giant rabbits. Chickens.
I like when he jumps and his gun goes off and he hits the ground. They talked about that in the commentary when he shoots it. He's like, yeah, that went right into the camera. It really did. I mean, if you watch it.
Wow.
When it goes off, it goes blam right into the camera.
Wow.
So those guys were pissed.
Yeah. Why'd they give him a loaded gun?
Well, it wasn't a loaded gun, but I mean.
Yeah, blanks.
But still, it scared the shit out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're not expecting it to happen. I don't think he was supposed to shoot the gun when he lands, but.
He's method. I like it. And then Chavez is just up on a rock.
He was scared of heights. And he still is scared of heights.
Wow.
Lou Diamond Phillips, and they said that rock was actually 30 feet above the ground. So when he climbs up there, if you watch it, he's kind of wobbly because they were like, oh, it works because you're high. And he's like, I'm scared out of my mind.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, that works. Down. Well, LDP did a good job. So he's embracing it, right? He's kind of looking for the vision.
Yes.
All right. Then we have Doc, he's basically talking about his love, right? He's in his head thinking deep thoughts that aren't deep thoughts.
No,
right?
It's pretty standard stuff, but it sounds like it's deep whenever you're high. Because he's like, I am a flower, or she's a flower, and I'm her butterfly. Don't you guys get it?
Yeah.
Ah!
Yep.
Dang it, Dirty Steve! You're ruining my quest.
And then Billy the Kid is just goofy. He's throwing his gun up in the air.
Yeah, he's flowers in the hat.
Yeah, he's goofy. So which one of these guys do you think you'd be?
I think I'd be a mix between Doc and Billy the Kid. I probably would have flowers in my hair and just talking about like, hey man, the sun is kind of like gives us vitamins, which is like life. And then like, it makes us grow. So when we're all like plants, we're growing together as a big community, man.
I think I would have been like Charlie Sheen. You never see him during the scene. He's probably just somewhere else.
I imagine you'd be more like a Dirty Steve.
No.
Don't you lie to me, Hoffmeyer. I saw those guns downstairs.
Boo, boo, boo. You showed up.
You want coffee?
I didn't hear the doorbell because I was just shooting things in my house.
I thought you were watching There Will Be Blood.
Holes everywhere. I was shooting milkshakes.
Just shooting replicas.
On a 12-foot straw, drinking from a milkshake while I shot it. Jeez Louise. I think I'd probably be like Chavez. I'd get away from everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like that probably would have been the smarter thing to do for them, to just figure out what they want to do. I think it's also kind of funny because they talk about this in the commentary, is that they're on the run from the law, like you said. So they're like, I know what we got to do. We're going to get high. And it's like, what? Wait a minute. And that was real snow that he found that.
Yeah.
That was in they said that wasn't fake snow because they actually shot this movie during the winter in New Mexico. But that scene was shot towards the end because they realized that it would have to be a lot more, it would be hard for the actors, we'll put it that way, to be shirtless and whatnot, walking around in what, like 20 degree weather.
Yeah, it gets cold out there, especially at night.
Ugh. Can you imagine that? It would just kill you.
I'd quit.
It's
the last day of filming.
You chose now, Hoffmeyer? Yeah, of all days. Shut up and give me my tobacco. How big was that tobacco? I mean, you could fit,
Major League Chew? I feel like he took the whole thing from Major League Chew and just shoved it in the side of his cheek. It looked like a chipmunk with two acorns. It looked like a fist.
It was so big. I mean, half of his lip went further than Stallone's and over the top. It was so far down his neck.
It was hanging out his mouth.
It looked like a whole nother head.
That wasn't a plug of tobacco. That was
a whole plant.
Yeah, it was like a Twinkie.
It was so huge. And what about the scene where they're like taking a bath or whatever? Where is he spitting that tobacco?
Yep.
And right, he does. Water. He does that. Remember that? He's like, oh, hell. And you're like, what? You're sitting there bathing in it.
My favorite line, though, at the end. So Dirty Steve and Chavez have a terrible relationship. Dirty Steve is terribly racist.
Yeah, obviously.
And he's just yelling at Chavez the entire time. But at the end, they're kind of figuring they're going to die. And I love how he looks at him and he goes, Dirty Steve looks at Chavez, goes, it's been a pleasure riding with you. Then Chavez goes, every night I stand above you with my knife at your throat. I'm glad I didn't kill you, Dirty Steve.
Well, wait a minute. You did what?
But that's a funny line. Like, there's some cracking lines in here. And I guess we haven't yet talked about Emilio, which Night at the Roxbury wrecked poor Emilio Estevez. But what I like about Emilio in this movie, he does walk he's intimidating in this movie because he's a smaller guy, but he's very unhinged in this.
You don't know what he's going to do. I love the scene in the bar. Actually, the woman who's
the
in
Texas
that
boy.
When he's like, well, he's a young kind of fella, and then he's fond of whistling sad tunes.
Dresses like a dandy.
Yeah, I love that scene because he turns and looks in the mirror, and he's like, hey, look, I see him. And it's like, all right, boy, you better get out of here. And then he starts whistling, and then you're like, oh, shit. And he starts picking up what Emilio's putting down, and then he goes to shoot him. Whoop, he took the bullets.
Yeah. Can I see that gun? Man, you're stroking a man's woman or something like that. Guy. Remember Emilio takes his gun?
Yeah. Let me see that real quick. That's a gun? You're going to shoot him with that?
That guy was full of crap, though.
He was
I'm going to take you in front of all these ladies. I'm going to pull your pants down and smack your bare bottom.
Yeah. It's like he just wanted to look more intimidating because of the woman and everything. That was actually the director's wife.
Really?
Yeah.
She was just hanging out talking crap, wasn't she?
No, I don't think she said anything.
Oh, I thought she said something.
She may have said one or two lines, but
you
would think if that was your wife, you probably would have given her like 2 lines.
Yeah.
Top.
Get her SAG. Sort of.
Yeah, right? Like, isn't that kind of what this whole thing's about? Right?
Yeah. Man, I had my he's related to everyone on the crew, actually.
Right?
Fly everyone out.
See a lot of movies and you just see the same name being repeated.
I love political hires. When I worked on film sets, I loved it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, tell me about your favorite political hire. No, I'm joking. Hey, Chris, just let us know. This won't go anywhere.
As soon as you hit the off button.
Yeah. It's off. No, but I don't know. I guess, Emilio was good. And it makes me wonder where he kind of went. So he did Mighty Ducks, had a lot of success with that.
I listened to an interview with him on Mark Maron not that long ago, and it was, I think it was the early 2000s, late 90s. Emilio kind of just got tired of being an actor, so he decided to stick with production. He's still producing movies to this day, but he also fell in love with winemaking. Kind of like Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah. And Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, is he big into winemaking?
Kurt Russell wine is going to be served at the Atlanta Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah, is this
I'm not going to it.
You got a dead serious face on. That's I'm like, really?
No. It's at Epcot. I'm sorry. The Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. Kurt Russell wine will be there.
Get the hell out of here.
And considering Walt Disney's last words were Kurt Russell, like they love him there. Kurt Russell wine.
Kurt Russell, you ruined my career.
Yep.
See, the last words.
Can I say you got some wine? So, Emilio wine, right? Emilio Cab, Emilio, what? Merlot? Merlotio?
Merlotio.
So, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
He's really big into winemaking. That's primarily the reason why we don't really hear about him anymore.
Pinot Emilio?
I mean, you got to think about it, he's like 60 I think now, so he's just kind of like, I'm ready to just kind of, he's comfortable with where he's at.
Got it. He directed that Bobby movie.
He did.
He directed Ward Home.
He did another movie not that long ago.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Who knew he had so much range? That's what Kiefer Sutherland was trying to show us.
24.
He did.
Now, I also what do you think about, I've never seen Charlie in many movies before, but I liked his character a lot. And I liked when he beat up that guy with a massive mustache that was going after Terrence Stamp. He's like, I'm a pugilist. Then he knocks him out. Do you remember that fight?
You're talking about like whenever at night, that was Casey Seismic.
Yeah. But Charlie.
I was thinking you were saying Charlie Sheen. I was like, you haven't seen that many Charlie Sheen movies?
No, I'm talking about Richard. So, I do like, there's a scene where Terrence Stamp goes, let's dance. And so you think they're going to go commit some violence, but they go to a dance. And then this guy tries to fight Terrence Stamp, and then this little bugger walks out, and he was throwing some straight punches. The dude with the mustache was haymakering.
Yeah, he really did beat the crap out of him. The guys that were in that, and a lot of the extras, something I wanted to bring up, were Hell's Angels in the local chapter there.
Oof.
That's a true story. I forget which guy it was, but Lou Diamond Phillips said that one of the guys that they became friends with was so out of shape that when he went to go sneeze, he broke a rib. And at the end scene in the shootout, and the shootout scene at the end of the movie, they hired the Hells Angels. Well, they didn't hire them. The Hells Angels said that they were going to be security for the area because massive crowds started showing up.
Security, exactly. Air quotes. They're like the mafia.
Yeah, and they said when they would say rolling, as we have all worked on film sets, the Hells Angels guys had whips. And instead of saying rolling or anything, they would crack their whips. True story.
Jeez,
they really did. It's like these people were terrified to come anywhere near that film set.
You don't mess. They're real.
Loved it,
yeah.
But everybody else were like, these guys are scaring the shit out of everybody, and we kind of don't want to have a bad reputation in the town.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can get rid of them? No.
Hell's Angels are for real.
No, they're no joke.
I know where Charlie Sheen got his supply from on this one.
Exactly. And they then said that they were going to be the extras, so that they were the extras and the security, and then they were like, we want to have lines, so they had to give them lines as well.
So they just extorted people on the set.
So there was a lot of the guys, Jack Palance's guys, those were all, not all of them, but I mean the majority of them were Hell's Angels.
Wow. That reminds me of the Monty Python sketch where the two like mafia guys go into the Air Force base and they're trying to get money from them for security. And they're like, we're an army base. Why are you trying to, like, what protection are you offering us? You gotta pay us. That's funny. I bet they said we're being extras. We're security.
Yeah, they didn't really get into it because I imagine. I mean, the commentary was almost 30 years after the movie was released, and they also probably didn't really care to get into it. But I can imagine it probably went down like that. They were saying, we're going to be extras. We want lines. We're going to be your security now.
I bet they sent a couple ADs to get them out of set, and then the ADs were never found again. Yeah. PAs were never found again. Hey, Ricky and Debbie, go tell the Hells Angels they're not wanted on set. Have you guys seen Ricky and Debbie?
Speaking of the ADs, you remember at the end whenever Emilio was saying, hey, Murphy, I see you got John Crawford with you. And he's like, yeah. He pokes right out the window, blows the guy's head off. Yeah. That was the second AD.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's the guy plays John Crawford. That's actually the second AD.
That's cool. Buenos dias, shithead. Yeah. I don't know why I said that, but I love that scene too. Listening to it was funny.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good lines in it.
All right, so how about this? Let's take a look, some more good lines. When we come back, we'll talk more Young Guns. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And I gotta tell you, Chris, I was driving today, and there's a scene where they're like, regulators, mount up! And then the score kicked in, and it was just like, dun 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 boom, dun 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 dun. Like a lot of drums, like really heavy. Yeah. And I was in my truck just going, yeah!
I'm going to the danger zone now.
Like, oh man, they should have played that. Also, these guys love standing in straight lines. So the beginning of the movie, it's all six of them in a straight line shooting at the camera.
That was the first thing they shot. They said really? That they on the commentary said that they had the release date for the movie before they shot the movie. So they shot the trailer to get the interest for people. So that they shot that. That was the trailer, was them all shooting at the camera. So they thought that wasn't actually going to be in the movie. And when they went to the premiere, Lou Diamond Phillips was saying that they were kind of confused because they weren't expecting that to be in the movie.
That's funny.
Because, it doesn't really fit.
No, it doesn't fit at all.
It doesn't fit at all. You feel like you're watching, maybe, it could be, a joke movie. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I was like, this doesn't fit the movie at all.
No, not at all. That's a good tidbit. And then they stand in a straight line later in the movie, too. And you're like, man, these guys love straight lines.
These guys know how to not hide.
Yeah.
Speaking of not hiding, whenever they, the shootout scene with all right, guys, let's dance, which is a great line. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
When they're shooting back and forth, and Kiefer Sutherland, Doc, gets hit in the hand, and he's like, hey, Chavez! He's like, what? In that scene, you can see a tripod.
Hey, nice.
So, but kind of like how we know from working on films that a lot of stuff just kind of blends in. So if you do accidentally see something, it can easily be digitally taken out.
Game of Thrones had a Starbucks cup.
Yeah, how the hell that happened? There's an actual tripod for a camera standing, leaning up against the barn.
That's awesome.
You can see it clear as day. Also, it's kind of hard to tell, but when they first open up that scene, it looks like it could be extras. But since no extras were established in that scene, it looks like it's a goof. But whenever the gunfire first starts, you see two people in black running. So it could be, I don't think it's a film crew because they're not wearing any film crew type of things. They're just kind of wearing all black, booking it. But I paused it and looked at it and I was like, is that, it could go either way, but I think it was supposed to be extras. There's probably a scene that they shot involving extras that they didn't put in at all.
There wasn't many extras in this movie.
No, it was probably really great for the background PA.
Low budget, for sure.
There was a minimal at best. I think the most that they would have had was the scene where they're tripping on peyote when they go through with those guys, and then at the end that was about it. Oh no, the scene where they're like going yay party, shooting guns in the air. But a lot of those guys probably were stunt guys. Because they were shooting real guns. And Hell's Angels. Man, could you imagine signing those guys out? My God. They're like,
I was here for 14 hours.
Sir, you wrapped after 3.
Yep.
I heard 14. Yes.
Yep. You 14 too? 15. And then the guy's like, wait, yeah, me too.
This breakdown's going to be all over the place.
I'm like, guys, can we just establish one time, 14, 15 hours?
It's going to be
16.
hell. Accounting's going to kill me. 18.
Come on.
Yeah, right. But the movie was shot in the winter.
Wow.
A lot of the times they were freezing while they were shooting this movie.
I mean, you didn't see it on them.
Yeah, they didn't really they weren't cold. I mean, they didn't look like they were cold, but production began in January.
Jeez Louise.
So it was winter in New Mexico.
Yikes.
When they shot this. That definitely would have been a really rough time. But whenever they were towards the end, it was like more like spring, but ugh.
This is a well shot movie for the time and budget they had.
Yeah, there's a lot of great. They definitely show you where they are.
Yeah,
some scenes I didn't really like. Some shots I didn't really think were necessary. Like when there's a pheasant, I was like, no, they didn't really need to see that. But
I love pheasants. I'm
a big fan myself.
That's what I started writing about film, pheasant and film.
Yeah,
orderly.
I remember that article. It was like, why weren't there any pheasants in Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah, I don't get it. You drive across country, you're going to see a pheasant.
Yeah,
right. They made a trip across country.
It's like, why don't you see any armadillos that are alive on the road?
You're right.
I'm just saying.
Maybe they are alive, but they're just playing possum.
Well.
All right, so tell me about the score, man.
So I was interested in the score because, and like anybody who watches this movie, they wonder, why is there electric guitar? Why does it sound like generic 80s rock and roll, where it doesn't match the film at all?
No.
It's because, according to the commentary, they actually had a really great score to go with this, with like a big symphony, beautiful sounds, a whole big operation that they had, and they put it in the movie, and they loved it. They loved the way it looked and really matched the film. Probably would have made it a lot. I mean, I don't think this is a bad movie, but it would have made it a better movie.
Yeah.
But in 1988, at the height of cable television, was MTV.
Yeah.
And the filmmakers and the producers were trying to cash in on the MTV generation. So they had the teenage heartthrobs, and then they had a great symphony behind it, and it wouldn't have worked. Oh. So they were trying to grab that teenage audience. So because they realized that people who were going to see this movie probably would have been that teenage audience.
Yeah.
So they were like, we're going to put in like MTV rock sounds. And that's why you have the score that you have.
Do you know what makes a movie better? Generic rock.
That's what their thinking was. So they scrapped all the sounds that you hear in the movie. I mean, the score in the movie, and they replaced it with a soundtrack that they recorded in roughly 4 days.
What? It sounds like it was recorded in 4 days.
It sounds like it was recorded in 2.
There's a lot of heavy drums.
There's a lot of electric guitar. And it just doesn't match at all. And I think that it would have been a lot better with the symphony, but
yeah.
That's what happened. I'd be interested in seeing like maybe like a director's cut or something that they put the original score into it. And if you get the DVD or and the Blu-ray of this movie, you'll hear music on it that's not in the actual movie, in like the scene selection and menu. And it's like, it's good music. I mean, it's like good music that you would hear for the time period.
Yeah.
And it matches the movie. And I was like, why isn't that in the movie? And that's the reason why.
That's cool. That's a fun tidbit.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you though, I was listening to it today while driving, and I got a little pumped up.
Yeah, you look jacked.
Yeah, I was screaming. I drove past you. You were going about 70. I was going about 95.
Yeah, I saw you burst into flames halfway down the road.
I went Ghost Rider. Nick Cage was in the back of my truck.
Yeah, I'm just preparing for Drive Angry.
Yeah, Nick Cage was like, slow down.
I listened to an interview with him the other day, actually.
He's sharp. He's a sharp guy.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
He just has to pay off a lot of bills.
Yeah, he's doing the direct opposite of what Wesley Snipes did.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like Billy Zane said that too. He's like, I had some problems, so I just took every movie I could take to pay. Oh, he's like, I got divorced and I had to pay money, so I just took every role I could. He's like, I was a young guy just taking every role to pay this stuff off.
It makes a lot of sense.
And so Nick Cage shows up in a movie for 8 days. He gets probably, what, 2-3 mil?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He takes about a third of the budget of every movie he does. And he does like $6 million films.
And then he sends it away to whoever he owes. Vinny, the Hells Angels.
He does, I think it's like on average 7 movies a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. But I mean, how can you really fault him for that?
How in debt is he?
I don't know, but I know some of his smaller purchases was a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull.
Yeah.
That's a small purchase.
I know Russell Crowe bought one from Leo DiCaprio. He was drunk and he bought it from $25,000 off of Leo.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I just couldn't, like, what would you be like, hey guys, look at my dinosaur skull. Like,
I'd say that.
Yeah.
If I had enough money, well,
if you had that kind of money, I would be like, hey, Hoffmeyer, how come you don't have that porch in the backyard?
Yeah, right. Like, why is that not in a museum, Mark? Why do you need a T-Rex skull in your house?
I've had it up to here with your skulls, man. Literally up to here because it's so huge.
I can't walk.
How are we recording this podcast? I'm sick and tired of sticking my head out of the eye sockets.
Mark, you have a pile of human skulls in the corner. What? Those are from the medieval ages.
I bought them from India. Yeah, they're cheaper.
This place is starting to resemble Temple of Doom.
I thought I had walked into Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That scene from The Descent with all the skulls. I'd recreate that in my house.
That's how I wake up.
Bloodbath. Yelling. So what'd you think about Billy's first kill in this movie? He just walks into a bathroom with a guy and just shoots him? Right.
Oh, yeah. So, like, do you think he's taking a piss and then bam?
He wasn't going to pull that warrant. And then he jumps out the window and lands in a bunch of crap and he goes, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I love obvious jokes like that. There's a preacher in Hot Fuzz that gets shot and he goes, Jesus Christ.
One minute in Dead Alive, I kick ass for the Lord. You expect that from a kung fu priest.
And then and shoot him up when Clive Owen looks in a dirty diaper and he goes, shit. I love obvious jokes. All right, so anything else you want to cover on this movie before we move on?
I would say I like the taglines that they used for this movie, which was don't count the odds, count the bodies.
Oh, brother. That's
a pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
Don't count the odds, count the bodies.
I feel like that probably was the original choice for Predator.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And 6 Reasons Why the West Was Wild.
Hey.
Yeah, right. It's something I think that's kind of interesting. It was like the different scores online of this movie is that it's a 6.9 on IMDb, 50 meta.
That's good.
And 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, but 76 with the audience.
Yeah,
it's kind of all over the place, depending on who you're talking to about this film.
I'd say 6.9 is probably about right on IMDb.
Yeah, I mean it's above average. I wouldn't say this is, like I said, I don't think this is a great film, but it's definitely an enjoyable film.
I mean, what average on IMDb 6.1?
Probably around that.
Yeah, so 6.9.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Average. I'd say that's about right.
I'd give it that.
Yeah, I mean the violence in this movie is like it's redonkulous because you don't really expect it.
Yeah,
you know, it's just kind of like, okay, we're gonna see like somebody get shot. You may see some dust flying, a little bit of blood, but like blammo. You're like, whoa,
hamburger everywhere.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it gets bloody.
It gets very violent.
Yeah, and then also, why did Charlie get married? How long were they in that village for Charlie to get married?
Not like Sheen. 30 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
Tops.
So they show up to this village, and then next thing we know, he's married. And then he just leaves her, and we never hear, well, he gets killed.
And then he gets killed, and then he's like, eh.
Yeah, and Steve gets waxed.
I think he should have stayed behind. I mean, like, you know, he's like, oh, I gotta be with my boys. I'd be like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, let's come on, man. Why don't you know we're going to die, and you clearly just got married. Why don't you just kind of stick it out here? Seems like this place is a little bit better.
That would have worked against him, though. Like, I think they...
You think, like, years later, he would have taken it out on her and been like, I could have been with it.
I could have gone down in a blaze of glory.
I don't even want to know where they're at now. Probably living off the land, high on the hog.
Peyote.
Billy the Kid is now Billy the Man.
Bon Jovi's doing songs for us. Want it. So I mix up these movies. So I'd watch these I probably watched these early 90s.
That was probably the last time I watched this. It was on USA.
And so in my head, I thought Wanted Dead or Alive was from the first movie. And I thought the outhouse scene was from the second movie. So when I watched this and the outhouse scene was in the first movie, and then it turns out Wanted Dead or Alive is in the second movie, I was confused.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought Christian Slater was in the first movie.
I thought Christian Slater was in this too.
Yeah.
I think it's because he was in everything.
Yeah, and then he went on to the second Young Guns 2, which made a lot of money.
He was in I haven't seen Young Guns 2 probably in well over 20 years.
Yeah, CSI guy. Remember the original CSI guy? William Atherton, maybe?
Is that the guy with the really tall with the white hair and the black eyebrows?
Yeah. No.
That's
Ted Danson. Ted Danson was in that show.
No, not that, not him.
William Atherton, I think, is his name.
Is that him?
Yeah, I think
he's in like every CSI ever.
Yeah, then he was also in Manhunter.
All right, I think it's the same guy we're thinking of.
Yeah, he was in the second one, and so was Emilio. But anything else you want to cover before we jump into your recommendations?
Something kind of cool. I just wanted to add was that I wrapped out a couple years ago. I wrapped out on a movie called Confirmation, and I I helped wardrobe wrap out all their stuff. And if anyone has ever wrapped out wardrobe on a production knows, it's like a 1 to 2 week, sometimes even longer operation depending on the size of it. But it was a small show, so it was a little over a week. And the guy who did the wardrobe on that movie did wardrobe on this movie, on Young Guns. And when they wrapped on Young Guns, he got to keep the hat and the scarf that Emilio Estevez wears in this.
That's cool.
I have a picture of this somewhere at my house, or it's on my phone. It's not on my phone. It's somewhere in my house, lost in all my electronics. But I do have a photo of me wearing the actual hat and the scarf Emilio Estevez wore in this movie.
Nice.
And if I find it, I'll have to send it to you so you can post on.
And you just scream to yourself, Emilio!
Right? Yeah, that's how it went down. I was like, Chavez y Chavez.
So I wanted to drop my favorite 1980s, 1990s Westerns, but I want to let you do your recommendations first, and then I'll do mine.
Okay. Right. That's fair. I just wanted to add really quick. If you are interested in watching Young Guns, it's streaming right now, as of this recording, on Vudu and Crackle. And, or if you're interested, like I did, I went to Videodrome. If you're in Atlanta, I live in Atlanta, so I go to Videodrome to rent all the movies that I review with Mark on here. They have the DVD there. $5 get you an entire week to watch the film.
Nice. Also, I like Crackle and Vudu, but I think Vudu is lesser on ads. But you don't have to sign up for an account on Crackle. So to watch Vudu, you have to give your email and a password. But to do Crackle, you just go to Crackle.
Yeah, Crackle does have a lot of commercials, but I don't mind.
It's free.
It's free. That's what everybody says. They go, well, there's a lot of commercials. It's a free movie and it's unedited. You can't argue with that.
They got Lake Placid on there now.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, I know they got Predator and Aliens.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because when I watched one of my recommendations, and then when I finished it
on Crackle,
it recommended Predator and Aliens, and I was like, I really wanted to watch it, but I had to watch it. I had to watch my other recommendation to keep my mind fresh and everything for this.
We'll drop them on us, man. I've been waiting. Oh, wait. Chris Kelly, recommendations. He's recommending the movies. Recommendations. While drinking ginger beer with a ginger chew. Chris Kelly, recommendation.
So these recommendations that I have, like I've said before, if this podcast is like a meal, then my recommendations are more like a beer or a wine that complements the meal. So they're not going to be directly related, or they're not going to be perfectly like the movie. It's going to be something that goes with it, though.
I'd say this podcast is cheese.
This is the mustard.
I like that. The crackers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll go with that.
Wait.
What else would you put on cheese?
There's a really great thing at Costco. It's like a spicy...
like a Dijon?
Yeah. Jeez Louise, I forgot what it is. But it's delicious.
What about that, like stone ground mustard? Ooh,
oh, yeah.
That's good stuff.
Also, you could do a good little pickle with some cheese.
I kind of want to get I want to get some pretzels.
Yeah, some pretzels
like
with
some cheese. Like a big old pretzel and some with the mustard on that. Oh, man. That's some good stuff.
Maybe get a little meat on the side. You know what I mean? Oof.
It's been a hot minute since I had some meat.
Yeah.
It's almost like 14 years.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. I've been dairy free for a while too.
Hey, I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Get on with your
when you were like, hey, you want some creamer?
I've loaded up. I didn't tell you.
Oh my God. What'll I tell everybody?
Wait, what about almond milk?
Almond milk's really good.
Yeah, that's what we have. It's almond milk creamer.
Oh, that's good stuff. You should have said that.
Yeah, we just do that. I just do almond milk. We get the pretentious almond milk, coconut milk creamers.
The coconut milk's a really good one, too, because that's naturally sweet.
We did peanut one time.
Have you tried cashew milk?
Yep, we have.
It's not bad. But it's I don't think it's really worth the price. Same thing with hemp milk.
It's almond milk. It's good.
Almond milk's good.
Yeah. I make my shakes every morning with almond milk silk.
Ooh.
That organic stuff, vanilla. It's good.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, the sweetened kind, too. Yep. And then it just adds to it. It's great to put on cereal.
Love it. See, you judge me.
Well, I mean, I naturally assume.
Judge me.
So you're like, hey, Kelly, you want the salami sandwich?
Chris, when you tell other people that they're, that rely on stereotypes and all that stuff, I'm just going to remind you of this. I'm just going to tell you, Chris Kelly, you pegged me incorrectly.
You saw that big red truck, this beard, and you just assumed that I...
Well, that's the pot calling the kettle black. Hey, why don't you go throw some more rocks in that glass house of yours, Chris Kelly?
Why don't you make it like a tree and get out of here?
Make a tree and branch. All right, here we go. Recommendations by Chris Kelly.
My recommendations. This one was a 1995 film that came out. It didn't really fly under the radar. It just didn't do very well when it came out. But in time, it's actually done really well. That's called The Quick and the Dead.
Oh,
that's a great movie.
I'm doing that. I'm covering that movie soon.
Really?
Yeah, Adam Hodgins and I are doing it.
That's a great film. Yeah. I just watched it again this morning. It's so good.
Yeah.
I think I think the main thing was that it didn't translate in 1995, that audiences didn't understand what it really was. And Sam Raimi was really trying to capture the spaghetti westerns that Sergio Leone did, with all the camera angles, the ridiculous explosions. The shooting is ridiculous too. Like Gene Hackman gets shot in the chest and he's like, I didn't, it's like almost like he acts like he doesn't know they got shot. And then in his shadow you can see a hole.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then, Keith David gets his head, literally a hole in his head, and Gene Hackman standing in the middle of the hole. It's like, it's ridiculous. But that's what those movies were. They were just beyond ridiculous.
Sam Raimi is the best.
Oh, yeah. And that's the reason why he actually got it, was because Sharon Stone was the first choice, obviously, for the main character. And she said she wanted Sam Raimi to do the movie because she loved Army of Darkness so much. She immediately got it. She understood that he was making an over-the-top, ridiculous film, and it wasn't meant to be taken seriously. That's great. So that's why she chose him. But I don't think audiences really got that in 1995. They were probably thinking that they were going to see maybe something a little more serious because of Pulp Fiction that came out.
And Unforgiven was like Unforgiven was beautiful.
Oh God, that's one of my favorite films of all time.
But it was a super adult Western. Yeah, it wasn't a Sam Raimi cheeky.
Yeah. You were definitely, that was a very serious film. But I think that's what people were expecting.
And also Sharon Stone was in her heyday of like
being hot.
Yeah. And so people were expecting not like a strong, badass woman. They were expecting
her to be, sexy. But at the same time, a killer, kind of like Basic Instinct, but Basic Instinct in a Western sense. I mean, it even has kind of a goofy concept, whereas this woman goes to this town to avenge her father's death. So to do so, she enters in a dueling contest. I mean, it's kind of a ridiculous concept to be like, I'm going to avenge my dad's death by killing a bunch of random people.
Stacked cast, though, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Russell Crowe, Leo.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe, this was actually his first American film.
Nice, before Virtuosity.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Virtuosity. Yeah, 1996. But before this, he was known as
Romper Stomper.
Yeah. As the neo-Nazi in Australia.
Good movie.
Right. Yeah, that's a good decent film.
That's a great wreck. Let's quit there. No, I'm joking.
I'm tired of you insulting my creamer, Kelly. Off my air, Emilio. I'm confused. I'm supposed to be angry at ginger beer. So the next one was the 1994 film that was was a movie that was a throwback to the 1950s Western film television show, Maverick.
Oh, I love Maverick.
Yeah, it still holds up. I watched it again. I watched it right after I watched The Quick and the Dead. It's still really good, still funny, still very like action packed, but a lot of the jokes don't really translate because they were making jokes that were more relevant in the early to mid 90s. Yeah. So it's going to be the same thing whenever we watch movies now, 20 years from now, they're not going to work. It's like there's a lot of jokes. There's a lot of Lethal Weapon jokes. Yeah. That I think that most people wouldn't have got.
Danny Glover popped up for a little bit, right?
He does. He plays a bank robber, and then they kind of look at each other, and then Mel Gibson takes off the handkerchief. He's like, "What do you think you're doing? Put your hands up!" And then he's like, "No." And then Danny Glover runs out. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just too old for this shit." And it's like, it's funny if you get that, but I think nowadays audiences probably see Lethal Weapon and they go, "Oh, where's Damon Wayans?"
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, because you don't really get the references. But there's a lot of jokes like that in the movie where it's like, it's references to Mel Gibson and other movies that he did.
It's fun. The poker playing.
Oh yeah, it's a dynamite movie. I mean, I loved it,
My favorite scene is when he just lays down on the ground and Jodie Foster's behind him going, What are you doing? You listening for stuff? He's like, no, I'm trying to take a nap.
Yeah. And he like takes off his shirt in the beginning. He's like, well, now that we've been acquainted, there's something that we can do. And he takes off his shirt. She's like, I am not going to sleep with you, sir. I am a lady. He's like, I want you to do my laundry. You said you owed me one. It's like, and he like takes off his shirt and then she hands it back to him and it's like shrunk. He's like, what? You shrank my shirt. It's like, well, then I guess you'll learn to do your own laundry.
It's a funny movie, man.
And there's also, there's a couple of good lines, especially like when she's speaking in a southern accent with James Garner, who was the original.
He's so good
original Maverick. Oh yeah, he's dynamite.
Yeah.
But she's like in a southern accent. He's like, and Mel Gibson's like, madam, I can't pinpoint your accent. Where are you from again? She's like, oh, well, I'm from the South. And he's like, well, where is that again in the South? She's like, Birmingham. He goes, Birmingham? I know a lot of people in Birmingham. I spent a lot of time in Birmingham. Well, we probably know the same people. She's like, well, we probably do. Why don't you name off a few people? It's a lot of back and forth banter like that.
I like fun Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
When you think about her, Contact is really good. Silence of the Lambs, Panic Room,
Nell.
Yeah. So she doesn't get to let loose too much. And so this was fun to see.
Yeah. This is more of a fun, more easygoing Jodie Foster as opposed to her other roles.
Yeah.
But it is kind of a neat build up. And then the poker scene, obviously the big thing. I mean, the whole storyline is kind of goofy as well, where he's just trying to collect debts and then he trying to gamble his way and con his way to be on this boat where the big payoff is $500,000 in cash, which if even at the time was a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
I mean like now it's a lot of money, but back then that would have been like several $1 million in today's money.
At least, yeah.
So, and then obviously, they do a little cheeky nods to the original television show throughout the whole thing. And it's really kind of neat, too.
Was Alfred Molina in it?
Yes, he was. He plays the bat. There isn't really there really aren't any villains.
He's a poker player, right?
He is. He also is, I guess you would call him the villain, but he's not really a villain. But he's in it too. Yeah, he does a great job.
And Coburn, James Coburn.
Yeah. He plays the opposite of James Gardner.
Yeah.
And then those two battle back and forth for a little bit.
I love it.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
You're crushing these, man. What else you got?
No, those are the only two that I had.
Those only two?
I was going to do more, but I really haven't had the time.
I wanted more
to watch more movies. But no, I was going to think the other ones I can't really get into it, but because I haven't watched it, but I haven't seen it in over 20 years. Was the movie Bad Girls? If you remember that was going to be my other.
Oh yeah.
Which you had these women who were sex symbols back in the day.
Madeline Stowe. Drew Barrymore. I was going to say that would be a perfect match with Young Guns, but I didn't have the time to watch that movie, so I couldn't in the right mind reference that movie. Got it.
I really wanted to, but I was like, I didn't have the time to watch it, so I ended. But I
love your honesty.
Go ahead and watch Bad Girls because from 20 years ago, I did see it 20 years ago, so I'll say, yeah, it goes well with Young Guns.
I like it.
So, but yeah. I thought that was kind of that would have been a good match.
What about Grumpy Old Men and Young Guns?
Grumpy Old Men and Young Guns. That would have done, yeah. The remaking of Grumpy Old Men with Samuel L. Jackson?
Really?
Speaking of, I watched Shaft, the remake, last night. It was amazing.
It's fun?
It was so much fun. I never had so much fun in a theater in probably like over a year.
The previews did not do it well, so I'll rent it.
They did not do those trailers were terrible. They did not do it justice.
Cool.
I was going into it because, as you know, I'm a big fan of going to the Dollar Theater here in Marietta. So I'll go to see literally any movie, and Shaft was playing, and I wanted to see Shaft anyways. So I went last night to watch it, and I was really blown away with how much fun I had. I mean, there's a lot of great jokes in it, a lot of great one-liners. The storyline was, meh. But I mean, what else could you really do with it?
Yeah.
We've all seen Shaft. We all know what it's about. One thing I thought was kind of interesting was Shaft is wearing a jacket in that my dad owns.
Hey.
And I was like, whoa, Pops.
What did he say?
No, I didn't get a chance to tell him. But he was in the scene. Shaft is wearing a maroon turtleneck and a brown leather jacket. My dad's a big fan of maroon, so he always wears maroon, and he has this brown leather jacket. And I was like, oh my God. It was pretty funny.
Love it. All right, so I'm going to drop some quick recs on y'all. So my favorite movies of kind of the 80s, 90s, because Young Guns was 88, Young Guns 2 was 90. So Unforgiven, you got to start with. I won't talk too long about this, but if you haven't watched Unforgiven, you kind of have to.
Yes.
Classic. Best Picture winner. Film. It's one of those Best Picture winners. You know when there's a Best Picture winner, people are like, something else should have beaten it.
Yeah, that one definitely deserved it.
Yeah, people go, Unforgiven. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Three Amigos. It's one of my favorite comedies. I just love the bits in there about the sweaters and the plethora. Like, would you say there's a plethora? Hey, boss, could it be that you're angry that your girlfriend broke up with you and you're taking it out on us? I love that. And they shoot the Invisible Swordsman. Tombstone's always good. We're doing that for our 225th episode. That's a Kurt Russell movie.
That's a great movie.
They voted for it on MFF Facebook. The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. It is a Korean movie, the remake of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. But a really kinetic, over-the-top, joyful, violent, fun Korean film with like Byung-hun Lee. It's streaming. But you'll watch it and just have a smile on your face the entire time. That's not in the 90s. I just did it anyway because I'm kidding.
Came out last week.
Yeah. And then Tremors.
Would that be a Western? No. Could that be considered a Western?
No.
Well, definitely a good pairing with this.
These settings, I
Same
guess.
settings, yeah.
Right?
That's like saying, like, Dreamcatcher goes well with...
The Revenant?
Yeah.
Because it's cold?
Yeah, they both take place in the snow.
But it's very Western-y. They take away all the supplies. They're kind of stranded. Survival.
Yeah, it is. Well, usually the stereotypical Western is that the unknown man comes into town looking for work, and then he battles everybody. He helps out the town.
And one man might have to...
One man
Shane.
against everyone. I mean, that's the basics for a Western.
Or
That's
High Noon. That's
a great movie.
That put it up on its like side right there.
But
no one would help him.
That's where the stereotypical Western came from, was from the one man coming in, or the unknown man coming to town and then helping out the town.
Bad Day at Black Rock, strange man going into town, but no one helps him either.
What about Red Rock?
Red Rock's a good one.
That's a Red Rock West.
Red River. Well, that's another John Wayne.
McClintock.
Stagecoach. Magnificent Seven. Hey, Mark, are we just naming
Jaws. Who saw Quint?
I'm looking at my Blu-ray collection.
The Bridge to Terabithia.
Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, Bone Tomahawk. I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't seen it yet? It's streaming. It's good.
I have to watch that.
Yeah, it's very good. All right, so my last one was going to be Quick and the Dead. But yeah, so that was it.
Oh,
but I appreciate you coming in, man. This was fun. I'm glad we did this. I had a lot of good time. I had a good time talking about this movie.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this movie. It's been a minute since I had even watched it, so it was nice to watch it and then actually get more in depth with the film.
Nice. And then you and I are doing Near Dark next, right?
Yes. Then
awesome.
I'll be going to rent that after this.
Love it. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Chris, Mad Dog, Gingerbeard Kelly, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.